What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today I'm going to showcase a team recommended by my fellow world champion Beelzeboy, showcasing a regular Malamar. This Pokemon takes full advantage of that foul play damage increase in this season to be a much better neutral game Pokemon, and just in general be a lot of fun to use. I was able to climb over 250 points, and I know this is an interlude season, but even still, that is a lot of elo gained with this one team, so let's showcase the battles and see what this team can do. We got a match. We're going to see our Unova Stunfisk into a Gastrodon. Very bad lead matchup, but we have two Pokemon that can at least deal with this in the backline. Hopefully I safe swap Malamar and they don't swap out. Okay, they do swap out into a pretty bad Pokemon for us to see, honestly. But I should survive a fly and get two superpowers off, I guess. This is unironically really bad. Actually, I might not get the second superpower through here, but, you know, I baited out this Pokemon so my Corviknight does not have to deal with it. Maybe that's good. Just barely don't reach that move there, unfortunately. But Unova Stunfisk should resist a lot of the damage this thing can throw. Same with my Corviknight, actually. It's a bit of a shame that I got my Malamar against this, because my other two Pokemon are much better into it. They might be going for a Brave Bird here, but I feel like that's a bit of a misplay. That's going to open up a full farm down for me here. Whereas if they went for Fly, they probably could have got to 2. Now I get a really easy farm down against them. Let's make sure Gastro comes back in, I guess. Okay, there it is. Okay, not bad. Okay. I can't really shield this just in case they boost. They don't boost. We'll go here for the Air Cutter. I guess I should have baited a full-on payback, but at this point, I don't care. They gotta shield something at some point. 5. Okay. I would love a boost. If I get a boost on one of these Air Cutters, there's a good chance that I can actually start spamming Air Cutters against that Gastrodon, and that might put us in a better spot. There's a boost, okay. So they're at the next Night Slash now, but they're completely energy dry after this. I don't know if they get to a third. And I have 2 Mud Bombs on my Unovan Stunfisk. Man, I know this is just gonna be the small move. It's just gonna be a Body Slam here, but I have to shield. Oh, they Water Pulse. Okay, very nice. Was almost always expecting them to throw a big move against us, but luckily they didn't. Alright, Air Cutter. Another boost. Can I get the payback? I can. So that should win us the game. I have back-to-back Mud Bombs right now. We're at a Body Slam here. Okay. So we can swap out, go for the Mud Bomb, and that should secure us the win. Really awkward lead. Not a great thing to see as a safe swap, but as a closer here, Corviknight actually did core break the team quite a bit, so able to just barely pick up that win there. Next battle. Unovan Stunfisk into Corviknight. Much better than Gastrodon in the lead. I don't really have anything weak to Corviknight on my team, so keeping switch is not all that important, but it would be, you know, beneficial, obviously, to align my electric type into the flying type. But if I don't, you know, it's just not the end of the world. With that said, they come in Shadow Sableye as a safe swap, and what we know here is I can outpace them because they were desynced a turn on that swap in, and I can go for an Air Cutter here to guarantee either a knockout or put them into Sand Attack downrange before they can knock us out with Shadow Claws. Alright, big foul play comes through, but Air Cutter was thrown on CMP. They might shield this, they might not. Really depends on how much they really value winning switch advantage. And they do shield, okay. I get a boost, that's amazing. Okay. They're 1 away here from the next foul play. They might try to make a catch on Corviknight, which would be a very good play. So we'll make sure to watch for that if we can. Big Shadow Claw coming through. So no catch attempt. At this point, I kind of have an interesting decision if they shield. Okay, they do let that go, actually. I was going to say, because, like, if they shield there, there's a chance that maybe I should just, like, let go of switch advantage and get that shield advantage, but they did not opt for that. Wow, what precise counting, but does an Air Cutter knock us out? I think I survive an Air Cutter and still get a boosted payback off into them. I do, although they did get an attack boost, so that is completely unfair. A really nice counting by them. They got the boost on the air cutter, so a payback here would do quite a sizable amount of damage against Ufisk. Oh, what a nice catch. This player's kind of dancing around me right now. Regidrago into Malamar. All right. I feel like Malamar is going to be in a good enough spot here. Oh, yeah, especially because I saw this matchup as a Shadow Malamar, and Shadow Malamar takes a bit of extra damage here than this regular one seems to. Yeah, so they'll have to double shield the foul plays. I guess they only have one shield, so they'll single shield the foul plays, rather. And honestly, despite the catch that they got off against us, the best thing about this is that they don't actually survive this foul play now. They likely win CMP here. Oh, they just outpace us even. They might go for like a catch attempt here. Well, they definitely do, right? But I'll go for the superpower, which I'm assuming still does more raw damage than the other attack, but we'll see. Nice, okay, we get the knockout there. And they should be in Mud Bomb range on this Regidrago, and I'm not in Dragon Energy range just yet. And even if this is not Mud Bomb range, it definitely is Mud Bomb plus Thundershock plus Psywave range after the fact. And yeah, it is just straight up Mud Bomb range. Able to get that knockout and take the win. Alright, got our next opponent here. Stunfisk into Ludicolo. Okay. I mean, this isn't unplayable, but I'd rather not be in this matchup, so I'm going to swap out and see what Malamar can do. If they stay in, I actually get a foul play before they can Weather Ball us. And if I land this foul play, that puts them into discharge range, at least close enough to discharge range, that this is not bad. Alright, they're going to go for a potential Leaf Storm bait. I guess I'll respect it. They probably... Oh, okay. Good thing I shielded that. I was going to say they probably don't actually full send, but I don't want to take that risk. So they're at their Hydro Cannon right now. 2 away from a Skull Bash. And Foul Play actually does a decent chunk of damage there now. 5. I don't want to sacrifice Malamar. It feels like that Pokemon's going to have more play in the back here. I think that there's a chance there's going to be something that it's at least somewhat playable for my Unova and Stunfisk in the back line. So I'm sacrificing Corviknight instead. There's a Ludicolo in the lead, likely an anti-flyer in the back, whatever that might be. Oh, well, that's about as anti-flyer as it gets. Shadow Basti. Yeah, payback here should do a solid chunk. We've seen a lot of people with a regular Basti take a payback. A Shadow Basti especially is going to take a decent chunk if they no-shield. They can't really shield, right? Because I have a Unova and Stunfisk. Alright, they're at 6. So 1 away from a Flamethrower. But I think the Shadow Basti is actually at risk of getting knocked out by just a single Mud Bomb from this range. Regular Basti, maybe not as much. What does worry me is the fact that this trainer has spent the time to put a Best Buddy ribbon on their Shadow Bastiodon. That shows me a commitment to the dark arts that I don't respect. Alright, Mud Bomb. Might not get a knockout quite yet, but we do get a shield. Okay, and the Ludicolo comes back in. The problem for them being that not only is my switch clock up, but also that Ludicolo here is going to get outpaced to a discharge, and they're in range where this does knock out. I'm just going to shield this up, Psywave down, and Superpower that Shadow Basti. Big Weather Ball shield. They should not reach another move here. Yeah, we just Psywave down. Blastoise is still around, but they're energy dry. I should Psywave down if they come in with it, which is what they attempt to do. Now, yeah, we take the win. Nice, let's go. Alright, got our next opponent. Stunfisk into Dunsparce. Okay. Honestly, I'm not staying in this matchup. I do resist rollout, but I'm weak to the drill runs. And I bet Corviknight's fine here. I know Malamar's fine here as well. Okay, we're seeing a Clefable on the counter swap. Not the most ideal Pokemon to see. Obviously, the Fairy types are kind of out in full force in this new season. 6, 7, Okay. So they're at the Moonblast potentially. I will shield this up, even though I know it's a guaranteed Meteor Mash. Yep, there it is. 8, 9, 10. Hopefully we get a shield back here. I mean, if they don't shield, I can double shield and actually flip switch them. Yeah, so they do shield that. 1. I'll shield this up. I want to keep Malamar around if I can. Seems like an important Pokemon. 2, 3, 4. Throw just before they might be able to get to a Swift, just in case that is a moveset they're running. 5. We'll catch the Meteor Mash on Corviknight. And at this point, we've saved some energy on our Malamar. And it's not like Ufisk is unplayable into the Dunsparce, although it's not amazing, right? They do bring Dunsparce back in here. Okay. And they should be at 1 residual after this Rock Slide. Payback's not going to knock him out, though. I don't know if they can roll out us down after this next Rock Slide. It's going to be kind of close. They're at the move right now, though. They're at the 3 rollouts. Okay. 1, 2. We'll go for a CMP here, because might as well get all the damage that we can against them. I might be able to Psywave down after this Air Cutter. It's going to be close. I'm going to swap to Malamar here, I think, no matter what. Oh, I was 1 off with my counts, actually. I should have known that. But, I mean, we neutralize this, I guess. We neutralize the Clefable. So at this point, it's really just up to the final Pokemon, which I wouldn't be surprised to see a Mudslapper in the back. Because Dunsparce plus Ground is a core I've seen quite a few times. Oh, but that's not this. I can just go double Discharge here, and I think that's going to be enough to knock out. I outpace just barely to that second move, and I am up a single turn here because they had to swap in. But I don't quite knock out here, actually. I think we're fine, because they're 1 away from the Surf. I can do 1 throw and swap to Corviknight no matter what, and either they have to throw energy against us, or they have to just get farmed down by Corviknight. So I should be fine, hopefully. But once again, it's going to be close. Yeah, we get the catch. Amazing. So now we can Thundershock this down. There's a Clefable still around, but it's pretty low on HP, and they don't have any energy left over. And if they swap it in here, then I don't even have to worry about a catch by that Dunsparce. I can just immediately go for the Mud Bomb. And I can Thundershock down that Dunsparce. I can Thundershock down the Jellicent. And this should be a win. Yeah, Mud Bomb gets the knockout. Ufisk is 2 Thundershocks away. Jellicent is 1 Thundershock away. And we get a bit of a Ufisk sweep in the backline. Not something you see too often. Next opponent. Ufisk into Ufisk. Okay. Battle of the Fisks, I guess. Happy to see this here rather than on my Corviknight. But this gets awkward. It depends on what they do, right? They could always go for a catch. They could always go and win CMP here too. Like, if they win CMP, that's not great. But I could also catch on my Corviknight at some point, which is a bit of a crazy catch to try to make. But, I mean, Corviknight, after 2 Mud Bombs, can at least somewhat deal with a Unova and Stunfisk, so maybe it's not the worst play in the world. They're at the back-to-back here. I'll go on CMP just to see if I win it. But once again, they're not throwing on CMP, so they don't want to reveal that information. Mud Bomb's gonna come close to knocking out, but not quite enough because Thundershock Faster Pressure is very negligible in this mirror match. They're at the Mud Bomb. They're 1 away from the next Mud Bomb. And since we still don't know who wins CMP, this is going to be kind of an awkward spot to be in. Okay, well, we both swap here, but I think I get the better end of the swap. I bring in my Corviknight. They bring in a Furret. That was 6, which kind of worries me. What if they're on Brick Break? In which case, this is nowhere near as good of a matchup as I'd like it to be. Oh, it's just a Swift, though. Interesting. I don't know why they wouldn't go straight for a Trailblaze there. But I guess it's kind of an awkward spot to be in either way. I survive a Swift here, And while Corviknight is not the best counter into Furret, if they want to start shielding, they're not going to get much out of the Furret after the fact. I think Air Cutter should be about enough to knock out at this point, too. It could also boost my attack stat, but it's only a 30% chance, so we'll see. Okay, no boost. That's fine. They likely have to bring in their Unova and Stunfisk here. They have to throw energy pretty quickly, or else I get to go for this Air Cutter first, which either gets a shield or a knockout against them. Actually, maybe it doesn't get either. It's just an Air Cutter. But if they no-shield that, then I think I can Psywave this down before they're going to be able to do too much else with this Unova and Stunfisk. Yeah, Discharge comes through, but now I can come in Malamar, Psywave down before a move is reached. Yeah, just barely. I still have energy on my Unova and Stunfisk, which I likely will need, saying it's a Clefable once you get in the back. But I feel like this is still playable. We're at 7, so potentially a Moonblast. Oh, okay. I mean, I think I just farm this down in theory, but I'll throw energy anyway. They Meteor Mash, so probably not on Swift. Yeah, I mean, I think it's always going to be the right play to throw energy here, just because I do have that energy on my Ufisk. Oh, this is huge, too. I get the CMP, which means now there's not even, like, a risk of maybe, like, they overfarm here, I try to go for a combo play, and they perfectly snipe me down. No, now it's just I have my energy on my Unova and Stunfisk. I can no-shield this, save the shield for Ufisk here, and go for the Mud Bomb against this Clefable. Yeah, Mash knocks us out. It's a very efficient move. But we have that Mud Bomb from the lead matchup here, and this should get the KO. I guess they were pretty happy to see the Furret against the Corviknight, right? Because Clefable is so much worse there. That honestly was like, it could have been so much better for me if I simul-swapped and I went for the Malamar, but, you know, it didn't really work out that way, but it still worked out. I still won, so we'll take it. We got a Pikachu Libre reveal. Not bad, not bad. Is this Libre any good? It's a high CP. It's not going to be a low attack, unfortunately. No, it's basically as if there wasn't a lowered IV floor here. That's crazy. Let me get back to 2200s. All right, let's keep going. Next opponent. Unova and Stunfisk into Shadow Kanto Marowak. Very bad lead matchup. Our backline, though, at least somewhat playable here. Wow, crazy simul-swap by our opponent here. That is annoying. They don't bait us, at least. But this is not ideal. What's really bad about this, too, is it was a complete simul-swap. There's never a chance that I flip this matchup. Five. All right. So at this point, I have to hope that I can just win this game with my Corviknight. I think there's a Basti in the back. I don't know why, but I feel like this is a Basti kind of team. Or I'm 2 away here from the superpower, so it's going to be a CMP, unfortunately. They don't call that I'm going to try to catch. That's annoying. I was hoping that they made such an annoyingly fancy play in the lead here. I was really hoping they'd try to make the call again. But this is so bad, because now I take a +3 Dark-type Aura Wheel on my Ufisk, so we likely are just going to lose this game with no counterplay. The instant swap to Morpeko is diabolical. I wonder how many times they've done that. Because it feels like they were so confident in that play. Wow, I'm basically knocked out. They can just swap here to Marowak. They don't, but man, that's a lot of damage. I don't think there's anything that I can beat at this point, because Marowak's not even that bad into Corviknight. I do have, like, a technical catch available, if I need it. Yeah, they swap in Togekiss, yeah. Unfortunately, not much I can really do there. If they did not do the instant simul swap, I would have actually had a chance, or if I would have just, stayed in. But that was insane. I can't believe they just did that. Caleb Ping Where's the Basti? Likely Basti will be on his team, right? Well, yeah, okay. We see it right in the lead. Whole team is play against his Pokemon. But Caleb likes using annoying Pokemon. He should not be staying in this matchup. Interesting. I bet Caleb is an enjoyer of the Pokemon that we all know as Gourgeist. I feel like Gourgeist is in the back. 6. Shield this up just because he's shielded. But I don't get one-shot by Hydro Cannon anyway. So I just match shields here and I should be good. He might try to go for a catch at some point because this is Caleb Ping, right? He's pretty good. He's kind of good. Okay, no shield there. Guess I'll no shield this myself because I do survive. All right. This could actually be maybe more awkward than I'd like it to be. Just because, how do I take out the Basti consistently? This actually might be bad for us. I'll bring in Malamar here, but man, Shadow Ball is going to hurt. But it's not going to one-shot us, right? So maybe it's not that bad. And they're going to be in Air Cutter range after this. Okay. Okay, 2 Incinerates don't knock us out here either. So I should be fine. Maybe. Actually, maybe I shouldn't have shielded this. I don't know. But the way I see it, Corviknight's not terrible in the Zero Shield matchup against Bastiodon. So, we'll see how this plays out, but there's a chance Basti's just bulky enough to survive long enough to get to 2 moves. I don't know. I think he might have us here, actually. Hmm. 3. I'll get to 2 paybacks, and I get a lot more sand attack damage here, but he's pretty close to another, Stone Edge, or Flamethrower. 6. In fact, he's at it in 1 more Smackdown. I really wish that I could catch here. Actually, I might be able to. Nice. Okay, that was legitimately as scary of a Bastiodon as I could have seen here. Like, he played that so well. Oh, I can't even Air Cutter. Alright, GG's, Caleb. I don't like admitting that Bastiodon is a good Pokemon, but he did play that about as well as he could have. Next opponent. Hopefully they're not quite as good as these last 2 opponents. It's been scary. Man, it's either, like, really hit or miss with these leads, which I guess makes sense. I'm using Unova and Stunfisk. It's like that a lot of the time. Wow. This person's having fun in the Go Battle League. 5. I'm at back-to-back superpowers right now, but I'm not quite sure I 2-shot as the non-Shadow Malamar. No, but we get the shield anyway. Interesting. I'll take that. I'm so concerned that they're already ABA soft to Corviknight, but maybe they think that they're not that weak to Corviknight, because Marowak has play, Wigglytuff has play. Maybe that's the case. I'll take an Icy Wind. It's going to debuff my attack stat, which is not ideal. But I'm not going to get one-shot by this, right? Not even close. And I should survive this too. I can no-shield this. Maybe get to back-to-back Mud Bombs here. They just go for Swift for some reason. Oh, back-to-back. And then I'm going to swap out into my Corviknight. I guess they could shield this, but I feel like that is a really bad shield if they do. Okay, show me the Talonflame. Okay, just a Basti. You know, that's all it ever is. Just a Basti, I say, as if I didn't just about lose to one a second ago. Let's see how bulky this one is. It's always, like, down to the wire if you can sand attack down. 7? Okay. So they're dry now. And they are below half HP, so in theory, I should be able to sand attack this down, but it's gonna be close, like always. 3. Payback, once again, is gonna do a sizable chunk of damage. And I can farm down having some energy for that Marowak in the backline. Oh, they shield that, wow. I think they might have played themselves here. They Bone Club. I guess they probably weren't even at the other move. But as long as they don't go for a Rock Slide here and knock us out or anything crazy, I think I can just get a Payback plus an Air Cutter. And then I have a Mud Bomb. Yeah, this is looking good now. They were maybe expecting a combo play with a Mud Bomb I had loaded in the backline, but luckily I knew if I was going to go for a combo play, I could do it in the middle of their Smackdown, and if I wasn't going to do one, you know, then if they swap, that's even better. Bastiodon can never store back-to-back charge attacks. It always takes 2 Smackdowns minimum after their last charge attack was thrown for their next move, but that Basti was basically dry when they came in after that charge attack, so I could have even discharged and Thundershock down if I wanted to, but I'm not going to play any games. It's a Bastiodon. I want it out of here now. All right, next game. Hopefully no more Mud Slap leads. We've had a lot of those recently. Okay, Charge a Bug. Backline doesn't want to see this. So, happy that they're staying in. Happy that they're, you know, likely going to be more playable Pokemon for my Malamar and Corviknight in the back. Mud Bomb doesn't quite two-shot, though. That's the sad thing about this matchup. They're at 3, so they do have an X-Scissor. The only reason this is even a good matchup is because I resist the Volt Switches so much that they can never two-shot us here, but I can never two-shot them, really, so it's not as good as you might expect it to be. I'll take 2 X-Scissors, get chipped down quite a bit. But again, I can outpace here to that 3rd Mud Bomb, and if they do want to opt a Shield in this matchup, that's probably really good for my odds of winning this game, because then my Malamar honestly just farms down, and once the Bug type's out of the way, surely Malamar would have a bit more play in the back. Mud Bomb gets no-shielded again. Okay. Make sure that they're going for a Volt Switch before throwing, just to guarantee that no catch ends up happening. Alright. Mud Bomb gets the knockout, okay. Whoa. What is this? Claydol in this day and age? Shadow Claydol at that. Is this Catch Cup, or am I seeing things? What is this Pokemon doing here? I feel like saving my Unova and Stunfisk is going to be a good play. We get his shield on the foul play. Okay. 6. I survive a Rock Tomb here, so I'm going to no-shield this attack, actually. Malamar is not going to be able to one-shot with a foul play anyway, so I might as well just, like, get some use out of my Malamar. Oh, nice catch by them, actually. Really nice catch. But I do have my Unova and Stunfisk still around. I do wish I went for an attack that wasn't a foul play into this. Alright. Okay, this is going to be an odd game. I have to swap here. Oh, nice, they let that go. That's actually probably the best thing that could happen. Should I respect a potential payback? I think I will, just in case. They're a little bit soft to Unova and Stunfisk, so there's a good reason for them to run that move, and yeah, there it is. They're not going to get another payback off, I don't think, before my next Air Cutter, so they likely let this go. Yeah. They just have to hope, I guess, at this point, that they can debuff me enough that they survive a payback. Actually, maybe this could be a little bit weird, because does a Rock Tomb ever knock us out from a Shadow Claydol? They can outpace us just barely. 3. Do I win CMP here? It's not going to come down to that. Oh, they overfarm. Smart play. I do think I still survive a Rock Tomb, Maybe if they have, like, Shadow Ball, that could knock us out, which could be an interesting play. Maybe they're on Ice Beam. They Rock Tomb. I do survive, luckily. And Payback should still knock out because they are the Shadow Claydol. And obviously, if they were a regular Claydol, I wouldn't be this low on HP. Okay. Yeah, I tried to go for the catch there. I almost wonder if Shadow Ball is the better play on Claydol now. Let's see what they have. Stunfisk into Shadow Malamar. A matchup you might not expect to be really good for Stunfisk, but just because Shadow Malamar specifically is a little bit squishier than the regular Malamar, this actually gets kind of awkward for them, where 2 Mud Bombs basically 2-shot, and it can put them into a bit of an uncomfortable spot since I do outpace them over time. Alright, likely a foul play coming through here. It is a buffed foul play, right? It's better than it was last season, so maybe there's a chance it knocks us out. But yeah, no, there's literally no chance of that. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to slightly undercharge this, because if they do go for the no shield, I know they get another move up anyway. Oh, they actually shield that. Interesting. They don't even build up a lot of energy here. I'm actually just going to let this go. I'm going to come in Corviknight and build up some energy. They risked that a little bit. I could have gone for an Air Cutter a little bit sooner to snipe down their move, but I didn't want to risk a CMP. I guess that's what they were banking on as well. Okay. Weird. I don't know what they have in the back. And I don't really like that I have to throw Air Cutters here, but if I get a boost, I'll like that a little bit more. And I can get a lot of energy on my Malamar in this matchup, depending on how they play this out. Hey Dom, how you doing? Welcome on in. Okay, we do get a boost finally. So I guess I'm just gonna go for the Air Cutter again. Try to go for the Sideway Farm Down. Okay, they don't quite go up to 100 energy here. But that Malamar is at like 2 Psycho, or Psywaves rather. Oh. Is there ever a chance? I don't know if I can farm this down without double shielding, actually. Unfortunately, but you know, if they do shield this foul play in a second, then that's fine too. Because then I think I can Psywave down after that, so. Let's see, I guess. What do? They let it go. The Azumarill could come back in here, but I feel like that's just prime farm down opportunities for my Malamar. Or I could foul play them to maybe not take the move. Ooh, Toxapex. Is that a loss? Toxapex might be game over. I have to shield this up. It's probably a brine bait, but no matter what, I do have to shield this move, unfortunately. Oh, it's a Sludge Wave, okay. If I can Psywave down this Azumarill in time, which I think they are 1 bubble away from an Ice Beam, then maybe I can win this one. Oh, they shield that up too. Which, I mean, I can't foul play that. That's too healthy, unfortunately. Man, if only I boosted more. If only I boosted more. Because I can knock out this Azumarill now, but I needed to knock it out before that Ice Beam came through. And even if I somehow did reach a foul play against that Toxapex, it is just a little bit too bulky here. They can survive Poison Jab me down. And yeah, they got me. Well played. That's unfortunate. That wasn't the worst lead in the world, obviously. In fact, we had a lot of play into it. It was just the fact that they swapped aggressively into that Azumarill that was really bad for us. This team was a lot of fun to use. It felt like there really weren't a lot of matchups where there wasn't a lot of play. Even in some of the more RPS situations, this team can fight back. Malamar is so strong, even with foul play as a neutral attack and superpower as a coverage move. Even the bad matchups could potentially be flipped. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.